Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, welcome to my YouTube channel, Share Knowledge. So today, I'd like to tell you a great story of a companion. He isn't one of the very well-known companions. His name isn't among the top names of the well-known companions, but his story is one of the most touching great stories. Inshallah, we can take great lessons from this story. His name is Saaed Ibn Amir al Jumahi radiallahu anhu. Hear the story. It was after the Battle of Badr. Saed was one among the people who were invited by the Quraish leaders to witness the execution of Khubaib Ibn Adi, one of Prophet's companion. Saed Ibn Amir al Jumahi was a young man at the time, not a Muslim yet. Khubaib Ibn Adi was shackled in chain and was dragged to Tan'im. It's a place where Masjid Aisyah now. It's on the outskirt of the haram in Mecca. The Quraish beating him, tortured him, and they were about to execute him, to hang him on the little crucifix. This execution was in revenge for the Quraysh loss in the Battle of Badr. Saed ibn Amir jostled through the crowd until he reached the position where he was right in front of Khubaib Ibn Adi, looking directly at him. So he was in the front with some Quraysh leaders like Abu Sufyan ibn Harb and Safwan ibn Umayyah. Then Said heard Khubaib requested something with a quiet voice. He said, "Before you execute me, can I pray 2 raka'ah of Salah?" The Quraysh leaders approved his request. Said saw Khubaib face to Kaaba and started praying. His face looked very calm, like no fear, like nothing dangerous would happen thereafter. After he finished 2 raka'ah of prayer, he faced to the Quraysh leaders, to the Quraysh people who were ready with their knives, axes, and so on, and he said, "If I wasn't afraid, you would thought I performed this prayer just because of fear of death. I would have lengthened this prayer. You know, it isn't the death that I'm scared of, but the way I die." MashaAllah, this is Khubaib Ibn Adi. Then people started cutting up his organ while he was still alive, men and women involved in it. Saed was in the forefront, but he didn't engage in it. Suddenly, when Quraysh was about to hang him and Khubaib was about to die, they asked him, "Wouldn't you like Muhammad to be in your place?" With the blood flowing, Khubaib said, "Wallahi, no matter what you do to me, no matter what happened to me, I'd never let even a thorn to prick Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam." Said was shocked. He said, "This man loves another man so much. There must be something about it." People were getting more angry. They shouted, "Kill him, kill him." Said saw Khubaib look at the heaven and said, "Oh Allah, count them all, punish all of them, don't let even one of them to escape." This dua was made by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam before, and today Khubaib repeated the dua. After that, Said couldn't count the numbers of swords, spears, axes which cut through Khubaib's body. Then people went back home. They forgot Khubaib, they forgot his death. Time passed by, but Said never forgot this story. He always remembered Khubaib. When he slept, he dreamed about him. He always remembered Khubaib's voice when he wished the punishment for Quraysh. Said said to himself, "It isn't something simple. There must be some deep belief behind this. The love that he has for this religion means that there is something deep in it, because if people has a slight doubt in their belief, they would have given it up. And such love only exists for a messenger, not for an ordinary man. Even a father would never do it for a son, and a son would never do it for a father." So Said started questioning himself that there must be something from heaven. So one day, Said stood up in front of Quraysh and said, "Oh Quraysh, I free myself from what you did to Khubaib Ibn Adi. I'm not a part of you anymore. The idols you are worshipping is wrong." Then he went to Medina and accepted Islam. It's reported that he took part in the Battle of Khaybar and other engagement thereafter. After the Prophet passed away, he continued serving Islam with the two successors, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq and Umar ibn Khattab. He lived a simple life far from the worldly things. He chose hereafter instead of this world. He bowed the hereafter with this world. He used to give advice to Abu Bakr and Umar radiallahu anhu, and they would listen whatever advice he gave. One day, Saed came to Umar at the beginning of his caliphate and gave him advice to fear Allah. He said, "O Umar, don't let your actions deviate from your words. The best speech is that which is confirmed by action. Don't hear the criticisms of those who criticize in matters prescribed by God." Umar radiallahu anhu appointed Saed Ibn Amir al Jumahi as a governor of Homs in Syria. But Saed responded, "Oh Umar, please don't cause me to go astray by making me concerned with worldly things." Umar was angry with his response. He said, "People have appointed me as a Khalif, but now you don't want to support me." Then Saed responded, "By God, I won't leave you, Umar. For this job, for this responsibility, Umar would give him a monthly stipend salary." But Saed refused to take it. He said, "I don't need a salary. I'm a person whom whatever I have is enough. If you give me something, it's going to be excess. Better you leave it in Baitul Mal, give it to the poor." So now, Saed was the governor of Homs. After some time, some people from Homs met Umar radiallahu anhu, and Umar requested them to write the names of the poor of Homs, the poor people of Homs. Then they started writing the names of poor people of Homs and give the list to Umar. Umar saw one strange name, and he questions about that name. He said, "Who is Saed Ibn Amir?" The people said, "Our Amir." Umar was shocked. He said, Your Amir is among the poor?" He said, "Yes." They replied, "Even several days without fire in his kitchen." So Umar decided to send him 1,000 gold of coins and wrote a note for him. MashaAllah. But when Saed saw the note and the coins, he said, "Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un." His wife asked him, "What happened? Did the Amir pass away?" Saed said, "No, something worse than it." "Did the Muslims lose in battle?" His wife asked again. "No, something worse than it." "So what has happened?" Saed said, "Materialism has entered my life in order to destroy my hereafter." His wife said, "Why don't you get rid of it?" Saed looked at her. "Will you help me to get rid of it?" His wife said, "By all means, of course." Then Saed distributed the coins to the poor. MashaAllah, it's a great story. In the 5th year of Hijrah, Umar came to Shams and visited Homs. He met some people and asked the people, "How is your Khalifa? How is your Amir?" He said. So the people complained a lot. Then Umar called Saaed Ibn Amir al Jumahi, the governor. Now the people mentioned 4 complaints. The first one, they said to Umar, "This man doesn't come out to us until late in the morning. He came out when the sun is almost in its zenith." Umar asked Saed to respond, and Saed said, "Oh Amir, I don't have a servant at home, so every morning I cook the food and bake the bread, and I make sure I've done everything in the house. Then I make wudu and came out to see the people." The second complaint, the people said, "At night he doesn't respond when we have a problem." Umar asked Saed again to respond, and then Saed said, "Oh Umar, I don't want to disclose what I do, but I just want you to know that the day is for my people and the night is for Allah." MashaAllah, great man, great governor. The next complaint, people said, 1 or 2 days of the month, he just doesn't come out at all. For this complaint, Saed said to Umar, "Oh Umar, I have only one pair of clothes, and that's what I'm wearing now. So one of the days I need to wash it, and then I have to wait until it dries. When it dries, then I can wear it. And by the time it's evening, so I come out the next day." Again, the people were stunned of the response. The last complaint, the people said, "Oh Umar, sometimes this man loses concentration while we are talking to him. Is there any something wrong with this man?" For this complaint, Saed responded to Umar, "Oh Umar, I can never forget a certain day in my life when one of the Prophet's companion, Khubaib Ibn Adi radiallahu anhu, was killed in front of me. So when I remember him, I started losing my concentration." MashaAllah, that Saaed Ibn Amir al Jumahi, the great man, the great governor. So we can take a great lesson from this story. Later, Umar sent him another 1,000 coins of gold. His wife was so happy with it. She thought that the Amir, Saed Ibn Amir, could employ someone to help him. But again, Said refused to take it and asked his wife to distribute the coins to the poor. Okay, that's the end of the story. May Allah grant us lesson from this story. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.